Hi guys, it's me, the Dweeb. I am happy to be back in my podcast chair on this dreary-ish fall day in my newest favorite sweater that I actually got at American Eagle. I haven't shopped at American Eagle since I was I don't know, sophomore in high school, but this popped up on a Facebook ad thing and I was like, I need to have it. But I will say, if someone from American Eagle is listening to this, I got it. I wore it once, and then a little hole came, like the seam popped open, not because ugh. Anyways, the seam popped open, and I had to sew it. So you're lucky I know how to sew American Eagle. But anyways, I still love it. Yay! Okay, so that's that. I'm also wearing a ponytail. I never wear a ponytail. For those of you who are just listening to this, you're like, I can't see you, bitch, but you should listen and go watch, right? We're friends. Anyways, so first thing I want to talk about today is the fact that yesterday was Mental Health Awareness Day. Claps, 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 claps. I like that there's now a day for that. I think it should be more than just a day. We should have a month, or we should all just be aware of it all year round, 24/7. I like that idea better. Yeah, I don't remember there being a Mental Health Awareness Day in 2018. I could be wrong. I don't know. But I was really happy to see that so many celebrities on their platforms, friends of mine, were talking about their mental health stories. And I don't know, I just really enjoyed it. I think the more that we talk about it, the more that we're, I deal with this and I take this medication for this reason, then people are going to realize that it's not just because you're on Prozac doesn't mean you're crazy. I mean, it's so annoying. I myself have been in and out of therapy pretty heavily since I was 18 years old. The first time I ever saw a therapist, I was in second grade. I've always been an anxious person. I'm just so anxious. I mean, I'm anxious doing this right now. I was just telling my boyfriend, I have so much anxiety getting on here and podcasting. But anyways, I was a very anxious child, and around second grade, I completely stopped eating because I was afraid I was going to choke. I was just this big worrywart. So my parents brought me to a therapist who actually was a wackadoo. You got to be careful about those wackadoo therapists because they are out there. He didn't really help, but I did get over that with the help of my mom and all that fun stuff. And then when I was 18, I was going through, just that's an age where you're no longer done, you're no longer in high school anymore, and you're starting in this new life. And I moved out of the state where all my family lived and all of my friends at the time lived. And I was going through a really, really, really hard time. So I started seeing a therapist again. Well, I was actually seeing a therapist a little bit before that, just to check in with myself because that's important to do too. So yeah, I started seeing a therapist when I was 18. Actually, while I was still in high school, just checking in with myself. I was in a very toxic relationship when I was in high school, and I was like, I think I might need to talk to a therapist. So I did. And then when I moved to Nashville for college, like I just said a few minutes ago, I was going through all of those. I miss home. I miss my mom. Everything's dark, being very depressed. That's obviously a normal thing that happens when you're moving to a new city. But especially at that age, I feel it was I was from small town to Nashville. It was crazy. So yeah, derail. But I started seeing my therapist pretty heavily again then. And then, a few other things happened in my life that I don't feel the need to share with the world just yet. But I ended up going to a psychiatrist and getting on medication. And I really appreciate, hearing people's stories. So I too am a person who suffers, I guess, from mental health, although I don't really like the word suffering because I don't know. I mean, I guess at this point, I am no longer suffering. I've gotten the help that I need. I have my medication cocktail every morning, and it really helps me get on with my day. So, yeah, I guess the moral of this huge, huge derail story is if you are feeling like your whole world is caving in on you and everything is just black and like an elephant is sitting on your chest and you just can't breathe, and it's more than just being sad. Like, we all get sad, but like, if you have depression, like, it's a scary, scary place to be. So if you're feeling that way and you haven't ever gone to a therapist before, you should definitely check that out. If you're in the Nashville area, you can always DM me and I can recommend you a good one. But yeah, I definitely think that yesterday was an important day. And I guess that's all I'm going to say about that, because I feel like I'm just rambling on about that. But yeah, hang in there, kids. Let's all be nice to each other also. Okay. Moving on, this week I'm going to talk about, of course, Real Housewives of Orange County and Real Housewives of Dallas. And then I had a lot of fun last week bringing back in some other topics that just have to do with pop culture in general. So we will get into those as well. First, though, I want to get into the Housewives. This week was a little bit better as far as keeping my attention. I will say not a ton better, but definitely better. Okay, so Real Housewives of Orange County. We open up with Kelly meeting two of her friends who are not on the show. Hi, who are you? Why are you here? Why am I supposed to care about you? I don't. But it was kind of interesting to see Kelly and how she is able to keep friendships from, like her elementary school years. That's rough to do. That's a hard task to take. So good job, Kelly, on that. But still, I didn't care at all. It was such a filler scene. I hate a filler scene. Let's see. They are discussing the Mirrorball drama that happened, and we don't need to get into that. We all know about it because there was like 3 episodes about it. Then we are at Shannon's house, and she's having Vicky and Kelly I do this every time. Every time I try to say Emily, I say Kelly. I don't know why. I think in my mind, I think they look alike. I know they don't look alike, but something in the back of my mind is like, they're the same person. Anyways, Shannon is having Vicky, Emily, and Gina over to try her new food line that everyone bashes on all the time. I've never tried it. I'm not ever going to. But I guess it's doing okay. I don't know. Gina comes into Shannon's house and she is super excited because she just got a spray tan. She just got a babysitter, and she is excited for this date that Emily has set her up on. She's going on a date with Shane's cousin, which to me is the first red flag. Don't worry, he gives us a lot. So Gina's yakking about how she's about to go on this date and she's really excited and she's only going to eat a little bit, and then Emily is like, yeah, about that. He called me and canceled. So he called Emily and canceled his date with Gina. Another red flag. It turns out that he canceled because he has a broken toe. Red flag number 3. You can still walk with a broken toe. He's just not that into you. Again, let's circle back to that. He's Shane's cousin. So I feel like probably already not the best idea. I know that just because you have someone loco in your family doesn't mean you're crazy, but there's a good chance, and it's a chance I don't want to find out. Yeah. Have we learned nothing? I don't know. She keeps saying, this was a big pet peeve of mine, she keeps saying that he stood her up. Okay. He didn't stand you up, Gina. He called Emily, which is bad, yes, but he did make it known before the time of the date that he wasn't coming. So that's not being stood up. I've been stood up before. Fun fact. It was way before I met Tommy, my precious love. And I went to a bar. I was supposed to meet up with this guy. I don't even remember his name. He's like super irrelevant. And he never showed up. It was I don't know. I didn't feel like devastated because obviously like I didn't really know the guy. It was like a Tinder thing. But he definitely didn't show up. And I was just like, all right, I'm going to have 2 more margaritas because this is lame as shit. And then I'm going to go home. So yeah. And then the next day that person called me or texted me and he was like, I'm so sorry. Would you want to go out tonight? And it's like, why don't you go kill yourself? Bye. Anyways, so that sucks, Gina, but you have not been stood up. You were canceled on. It happens. I'm super, like, I was the best at canceling on people. So good. I even canceled on Tommy before we got together. And then I stopped canceling on him. And thank God I did. Or whoever. Let's see. He did sound like a dick on the phone. So he did definitely sound like he was from Shane's family. But again, I mean, what are you going to get? We know what we're getting into here. Later, Emily and Shane and Gina meet for, I guess, what was supposed to be the double date, but it just turned out being the 3 of them. And Gina receives a very, we didn't get to see the text, but presumably, yeah, I said that right, I think. Presumably mean text from Matt. It appears that the text probably read something like, I can't believe you're at that dinner when your son has a game, because she apparently was missing one of her son's games. But hi, Matt, you lived in a different house for like weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, and we're also having relations with a girl who is not the mother of your children. Oh, and more importantly, your wife. So if Gina has to miss one game to go like get herself together and go talk to her friends, like I think she's gotten a few passes. Like, shut the fuck up, Matt. You're a douchebag of all douchebags. Okay, great. Glad we got that cleared up. But Shane, surprisingly, was very nice. This is the nicest I've ever seen him been. He was very warming to her. He was like, you're not a bad mother. Da 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 da. I don't know. He was likable for a few minutes. It was really weird. That pig head that they ordered. No words. Moving on. Bronwyn's family photo was another big thing of this episode, I guess. Bronwyn, she's coming out with some interesting facts. A couple episodes ago, she like let it be known that she and her husband like to have threesomes, which, okay, not judging, to each their own, have fun, whatever. But she's also kind of like dropping these hints. Well, she's not really dropping hints. She's basically like saying that she would like to be in a situation where her husband, Tamara and Eddie, are a part of their threesome. So, or I guess in that case, it would be a foursome. Anyways, I'm hot just thinking about that. Not in like a good way because they're hot, like in an uncomfortable way, because they're not hot. But anyways, Bronwyn's family photo. I did like the family photo. Her outfit choice was a little bit different than what I would maybe wear to a family photo. She was wearing like a see-through sheer dress, like skirt, I guess. But she looked good. So I don't know. Maybe if I looked that good after 7 kids, I'd be like, look, I'm wearing a sheer thing and you can suck it. So I don't know. To each their own. But it was cute. They were all dressed in black. The little kids had like just like whatever they wanted. Like one little girl was wearing a princess crown. I think another kid was just like holding a toy. Like it was just very like, it was staged, but it was like chaotic at the same time. It was like, this is our family and da-da-da-da. So I liked it. I agree with Bronwyn. If I see one more photo of you and your family on the beach in a white shirt with khaki pants, like I'm gonna have to scream at you. And I don't want to scream at you. So let's just stop doing it, okay? Let's see. Then after the family photo, like I said, her and her husband are talking about this foursome with Tamara and Eddie that has not been scheduled to happen. Let's not get that out being on the rumor mill. It's just something that I think would happen if everybody was into the idea. I know Bronwyn's into the idea. I think she's the only one into the idea, though. Let's see. What else do we have? Shannon went to the doctor and got the O shot, which is supposed to help you get like better orgasms and stuff. It was one of the more uncomfortable scenes I've seen in housewife history. I hated it. I hated that scene, but good for Shannon. I hope that all her dreams come true. Let's see. Emily meets with Tamra and Eddie to talk about weight. This actually sent me on my own little spiral. Well, back to mental health. One of the things that I deal with is I have dealt with, I guess I should say, is body image issues. I'm sure anyone listening is probably like relating to that as well, because it's so freaking toxic. This world is so toxic when it comes to body image issues, not just for girls. I mean, it's super hard for girls, but also for boys. Like, it's insane. Anyways, going back to the Housewives, kind of, I guess it's one and the same topic. So Emily is with Tamra and Eddie at their gym that I'm pretty sure no one goes to. And she's talking to them about how she's gained a lot of weight and how she hasn't weighed herself in, I think, like years is what she said. I'm not sure. And they have her get on this little like scale thing, but it's not just a scale. It like also does like your body mass index and tells you how much of you is actual fat and how much of you is actual muscle and da-da-da-da. And anyways, Emily gets on it, and of course, it's not what she wants to hear. Bravo, you're so evil for flashing her weight across the screen. I'm not going to say what it was. It's not even a big deal. Like, I don't think that that's any of our business how much she weighs, but I thought that I love Bravo with my whole heart, but I do not stand behind that. I hope that they asked Emily if it was okay and she said yes, and if that's the case, then okay. But if that's not what happened, then Bravo should be very ashamed of themselves, because that was not okay. Not just for Emily, but for other girls who also probably weigh that same weight. You're now giving them Emily's diagnosis in a way. I mean, even me, I was like, oh my God. I immediately went to the bathroom and like weighed myself. Like, you have to be careful when you're talking about weight. I like that Emily's like, going and taking care of herself. She took the first step, found out like things that she needs to do to maybe lose some weight. Like, that's great. Yes, we should all take care of ourselves, but don't be mean about it. Like, if someone is struggling with weight issues, even if they're not having a weight problem really, and it, do not undermine that. Do not be like, oh my God, like, you're so skinny. You just want attention. You just want me to tell you you're skinny. Like, I cannot tell you how many times someone has said that to me. And it's like, no, if I am asking you if I look fat, it's because I trust your information and I want to know your opinion. I value your opinion. Don't be like, but the moment you're like, oh my God, it's your opinion no longer matters. But in Emily's case, I think that, first of all, she's going to Tamra, which is insane, being how mean Tamra has been to her in the first place. But Bravo, I'm solely putting this on Bravo right now, for Bravo to flash her weight up after she's like crying and she's like really hurting about like the way she sees herself when she is in the mirror. It wasn't cool. It was not cool, Bravo. I'm mad at you about that. But anyways, that was a little bit of a derail, but I think it was an important derail. Let's see. On a happier note, Alexis is back. I hope this means that Alexis is going to slowly take on a friend role and then go ahead and come back to the show, because her OC days, or I guess the OC days that had her in it, she definitely was one of the main ones to watch. I I mean, she had like a shit husband, and we definitely don't need one of those, and they're divorced now anyway, so whatevs. We already got a shit husband on the OC. His name is Shane. But I loved Alexis. I definitely hope that we start seeing more and more and more of her. I think that we are going to. I mean, she's crazy as can fucking be. Like, don't get me wrong. But love it. Loved Alexis back in the day and still love her now. And I was really happy to see her back on my TV. Let's see. What else do I have written in my notes? Oh, back to that date that Gina was supposed to go on. I didn't think it would last long, and it hasn't. Apparently he had a girlfriend, and Emily didn't know about it, and Gina found out, and Gina thinks that Emily did know about it and was trying to sabotage her or something. So now, you guessed it, Gina and Emily are fighting again, and it's just like, I don't really know whose side I'm on at the end of the day, but I think if I actually had to choose, I would choose Emily, because she admitted that she like is not close to this person that is Shane's cousin. She's seen him like 2 or 3 times, she said. And also like things change so quickly in people's lives. Maybe he didn't have a girlfriend and then he did. And also he's Shane's cousin, so he's shit. So he probably does have a girlfriend, and he's going to go out on a date with someone else because he's a shitty guy, because he's in the shitty family, of which is Shane's family. But Shane has really great parents, so I don't think that his whole family's that bad. Anyways, he's Shane's cousin. Let's see. So now they're mad at each other again. Well, I guess Gina's mad at Emily, so we'll see how that turns out. On Watch What Happens Live, even going back to Emily and Shane, like Andy was like, when Shane comes on and does his little interviews, like it's devastating. And And Emily, like, stands up for him. She's like, that's just how he is. Like, da-da-da-da. She admits that he's a dick, but she's like, that's just how he is. That's just how he is. That's just how he is. Da-da-da-da-da. And she did say on Watch What Happens Live that they won't be getting a divorce, because it is a huge speculation that she'll be getting a divorce. I even said that a couple podcasts ago, that I think maybe at reunion time we'll be getting we've decided to get a divorce card dropped on us, but I guess not. I don't know. That's all I have for Orange County this week. It was better, but still. I still stand behind what I said last week. Get rid of Tamra. Keep Shannon, maybe. Definitely keep Kelly. Bring back Alexis. Get rid of Vicky completely. We don't need her. Can't believe I just said that. Bring back Heather Dubrow. Yeah, get rid of Gina. And bring back Lizzie. Yes, that would be I'd watch the shit out of that. Anyways, on to Real Housewives of Dallas. Carrie is back. Carrie with a C, that is. She is going to be hosting Leanne's lingerie bridal shower, which we will talk about in a bit. But episode opens with Carrie's darling little face. Do we miss Carrie? I personally don't. But whatever. So does this mean she's a friend of now? I don't know. I thought she was gone. Anyways, Travis meets with Deandra again. He thinks that she needs to like completely close the doors to her office. And I mean, I don't think that sounds like a bad idea. I think that I'm with everyone else, with her husband, with everyone, with even Travis. Let the business go. Like, I've never heard of that shit ever until the Real Housewives of Dallas. And I don't think anybody else did either, unless they're like 87. So let's like let it go and like revamp something that'll probably make you more money, That's what I think you should do. And screw your freaking mom. She's evil. Whatever. But there's also this, and probably, this just came to my mind. She's probably trying to like make this work so that her mom will be happy, because if her mom's not happy, I guess she could take away her, what's the word? Trust fund. I obviously don't have one because I didn't even know what it's called. I mean, I did know what it's called, but I couldn't think of it. Anyways, Cameron's daughter is going away to sleepaway camp. I loved that her daughter is like such a tomboy. That will probably be my situation. Like, I truly relate to Cameron when it comes to all things aesthetic. Like, the blonder my hair can be, the better. It's getting a little bit dark right now, but I have a hair appointment soon, okay? And pink for president, not like the singer, the color. Just the color for president, So I'll probably have like I'll probably like pop out a girl with like a football in her hands and she'll be like, Mom, let's go play ball. And I'll be like, I really don't want to. But anyways, that was a derail. Yeah, she's so much different than her little girl. And I think that's super, super cute. I did feel a little bit personally victimized by Hilton Westcott when she said that she was going to camp so that she could get away from blondes. Thought that was kind of rude, but whatever. Whatever, Hilton. Let's see. Carrie Duber, like I mentioned earlier, and Stephanie are hosting a lingerie shower. Fun, but they all have to wear lingerie. Not fun. And apparently it's Wednesday at 1 p.m. So that's even more not fun. Let's see. Again, I am Cameron. I would have showed up in a full-length dress and been like, this is my lingerie. Because I'm not wearing lingerie out in public. Like, I'm not even like conservative, but like I'm like not gonna do that, you know? Weird. Let's see. Carrie with a K obviously got confused and showed up for the Roaring 20s party. That was not happening. She had like the whole thing was just like Gatsby. Let's see. We didn't get a lot of Carrie with a K this episode, which I personally needed. I needed a break from Carrie. She was a lot in the past few episodes with that episode. Again, I like her. I think she's good for the show. I just needed a minute, and I'm glad Bravo gave me my minute. Let's see. Deandra was not there because she was not invited. Leanne still does not know if she's going to be invited to the wedding. I think that she will invite her to the wedding at the end of the day because I do think that Leanne still really loves and cares for her. I just think that she's like, I can't do this right now. I don't know. I also don't really think Deandra cares that she wasn't invited. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think she does. Stephanie confronts Cameron at the party and it did not go well. Cameron is upset that Stephanie doesn't like her, which I don't think that's really the case. And Stephanie even says that's not the case. Stephanie does like her. It's just different. Like I love Cameron so much, but she's like too sensitive. Like not everyone's gonna like be your BFF, you know? Like people click with other people, and as long as she's like nice to you, like I think that that's really all you can ask for. But I also think that Cameron just like hates Brandy with like her entire being, and maybe she wants to take Brandy's friends away, which is not very nice. So yeah. Let's see what else. Oh, yeah. And then I have in my notes, and this is why girls' trips are not good, because there is nothing worse than a girls' trip. I'm not saying I won't go on them. I've been on a few, but oh my God, give me all the Ativan. I am gonna need it because girls' trips are a lot. And that's my wrap on Housewives of Dallas. Another fun show that I love very, very much. If you like The Bachelor in Paradise, if you like Love Island, if you like any dating reality TV shows, you will love this one. Temptation Island is finally back. It had its first season ever, at least in the US. I don't know if maybe it was in a different country before, like Love Island. I don't know. But its first season ever was last year, and I was immediately hooked. It was very, very good. It's back. So basically what it is 4 couples come to an island, and then like, I don't know, 20 singles of each gender come to the island as well. And the 4 boys in the relationship have to stay with like the 20 girls who are not in the relationship, and vice versa. So that's why it's called Temptation Island. You're trying to see if your partner will be tempted, which pretty much if you're at Temptation Island with your significant other, like the relationship, in my opinion, is already done. At least it would be for me, and I know it would be for Tommy as well. If I was like, hey, Tommy, you want to go to Temptation Island? He'd be like, who are you, and what have you done with Tabitha? Because I would never do that. But it's a good show. It's good TV. It's super good TV. I'm really excited. Let's see. There's one couple there that I don't get why they're there. This girl is literally just trying to see if her boyfriend will cheat on her. She's like been in a relationship or been in a couple relationships in the past that she has been cheated on. So she's been cheated on by like every guy, which like, girl, same. But I'm not going to take the good guy that I finally did meet and go like to a little island and him to see if he'll cheat on me. Like, let's just call it good. You found a good one. Let's just not. But see, this is what trust issues does. This girl is now taking her perfectly fine boyfriend to this island to see if he's going to cheat. That sounds so fucked up. But with what the previews look like, it looks like he might cheat. But I think she might cheat too. Yeah. So, it just started last night. We really haven't gotten to meet any of these people yet, like any of the singles. We've got to know the couples a little bit. I don't know their names, and who cares what they are, really. But it's definitely good. It comes on Thursday nights. You should check it out. And Temptation Island people, if you're listening, I should be like a spokesperson or something. So whatever. Let's see. What else? Harry Styles is back, guys. Harry Styles is back. He came back on Instagram yesterday, dropped 2 pictures, did a story, woke up this morning to a brand new song called Lights Up, and it's so good. Even my boyfriend likes it, and he's like really like a little bit judgy with music. I mean, as he should be. He's like a music producer and just like super talented, but I definitely brag on him like way too much. All of you listening are probably like, shut the fuck up, and I don't blame you. But he's the best. Anyways, even my boyfriend liked it, so that means it's a really good song. And I'm so happy he's back. He was gone now for 2 years. And I missed him, and I'm glad he's back, and I'm going to go to his concert when he has one, because I went to the last one and it was pretty cool. Let's see. Other things in pop culture news going on this week. Everyone's so mad at Ellen for going to a baseball game or whatever it was with George Bush. People, seriously. Okay. I mean, people are upset because, George Bush war, blah, blah, blah. I'm not really going to step into that because that's not really my territory. But Ellen's point in hanging out with him, one, is because they're just friends, and her point in posting about it is to say that, just because you might have a totally opposite opinion on the world than the person sitting next to you doesn't mean that you can't be cordial and have fun, and you guys might actually like each other. I don't know. I thought it was a good message. And honestly, I don't necessarily agree with George Bush's political things, but he looks like a good time. He looks like he's doing jokes and making things funny, and just a little grandpa that I want to squeeze and cuddle a little bit. So I would hang out with him. George Bush, if you're listening, and I'm sure you are, let's hang out. Yeah. So this next thing I'm going to talk about was just going to be a news, pop culture thing, but it actually turned into something I don't get. And it's kind of sensitive. Jana Kramer, as I believe how you say her name, and her husband, Michael, I don't know, Clausen, I don't fucking know, Michael. They have a podcast called Wind Down. It's WHINE, wine down. But also wine, a pun on it. Anyways, and I guess, I don't know the exact timeline, but I guess about 18 months ago or a couple years ago, he stepped out on their marriage and had an affair, and she found out about it. They have 2 daughters. I think they may have only had one when he originally had the affair, and since then they've had another. I could be wrong on that, but I think that is the timeline. And yeah, so they made their marriage work, if you will. And, but obviously there's a huge trust issue there now in this family. And I don't know. I don't want to judge and be this is what you need to do, because one, I'm not a counselor. I could never be a marriage counselor, because I would literally be why the fuck are you still here? But I will say, well, okay, let me start over. This week they came out with a podcast, and it was talking about how her husband, Michael, recently received a text message from someone he from a number he didn't recognize. And it was a picture of a girl who was topless. And underneath it, the message said, yeah, hope we can meet up this time. And instead of showing his wife the text message and being like, hey, this came through my phone. I don't know who it is, but I want you to know that I don't know a thing about this. Here it is. If you want to say something to her, you can. Like, because that's like their agreement. Since he has cheated on her in the past, like she's like, if anything comes through, because I think he cheated on her with like multiple people, not just like one person. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. Their deal was that that's how it's supposed to go. Like if he gets something like that, because I guess he is a famous person. I think he might be like an athlete or something. I don't know. If he gets something like that, he is to tell her about it and they're to handle it as a couple, which is great, very healthy. But he got this text message and he deleted it. Homeboy has an Apple Watch though. And Jana got this intuitional feeling one day to look at his messages in his Apple Watch. And she found the text message of the girl and her like heart sunk to the floor as it would. I mean, being cheated on is like the worst feeling in the world. There's just so many things that go into it. You start blaming yourself, not to mention the anger. And then I can't even imagine having kids in the mix. Like that would just be, ugh. Anyway, so she finds the message. I guess she confronts him about it she reached out to the woman and the woman replied, she called her and she didn't answer. And the woman replied then to the message and said, hey, sorry, hun, can't talk. Do you want me to come over later? And then Jana was like, you texted my husband, like, da-da-da-da, like, what is this about? From woman to a woman, like, let me know, da-da-da-da. And then Jenna is like, but I don't think it was a real person because it started saying things like, what size boobs do you like? Like, it started talking like a computer. Okay, so here's what I don't get. Does she really not think that maybe this person is real and they're just like, oh shit, she found out, let me just act like a robot? Like, I'm sorry, but the fact that he deleted the text message and didn't say anything about it, that's just too much of a red flag. It's a barrier that she had already set for them. Like, this can't happen, and he crossed it anyway. So maybe he didn't physically cheat, but he did lie, and that's, in my opinion, just as bad. And I really, not that my 2 cents matters much in her life, but I really think she needs to call it a marriage. She needs to just let it go, because I know that they like want to stay together for the kids, blah, 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 blah. Well, I'm here to tell you that I'm a child from a divorced family, and I was so happy when my parents got divorced because it was miserable. Like, kids know what's going on behind your closed doors. Like, we know you're fighting. We know what you're fighting about. And, you know, like, it's just, when people are like, oh, I want to do it for the kids, I'm not saying that every family is the same, but I know in my situation as a young child, I knew everything that was going on when my parents were fighting. And the day they finally came to me, my mom finally came to me and was like, we're getting a divorce. My dad came to me too, but my mom told me about it first. They were like, we're getting a divorce. I was like, hallelujah, y'all. Like, where have y'all been? I've been trying to get you guys to get divorced since I was like 7. I'm 11 now. Ugh. That was like my actual response. I was like, okay, cool. Can we have pizza? Like, I was like, I did not care. I mean, I cared, but I was happy about it because like I would rather be in a broken family, if you will. And if you're not watching this, I just like used air quotes because I don't like that term. But I'd rather be in that kind of family than like walking on eggshells all the time that my mom and dad are going to fight, you know? So, and you know they're fighting and you know their kids know about it. So just my 2 cents from a podcaster who has lived a little bit through that in her childhood. I think that they need to get a divorce. Just my 2 cents. So yeah, what I don't get, why are you still there, Jana? You're beautiful. You are talented. And you could find someone who will definitely never cheat on you. Not even think about it. So anyways, enough of that. I think I'm about to wrap this podcast up. I don't really have anything else to talk about. I feel like I've like really shared a lot of my like inner feelings with you all today. So be nice to me about it. If you're watching this on YouTube, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you're feeling extra fancy, leave a comment and make it nice. If you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts, give me 5 stars. And what else can you do? Leave a review. Make it nice. Oh, you can subscribe to that too. Duh, Tabitha. Okay. Anyways, thanks for listening, guys. Oh, you can also follow me on Instagram at The Pop Culture Dweeb. And yeah, Twitter if you want to, at TDweeb. But really, I wouldn't if I were you. Okay, bye.